Hello everybody and welcome to Jeff the Pharmacist. It is an honor to have you here. So I just wanted to say thank you for anybody who has subscribed and is watching this video. Thank you for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. That was a goal of mine, and thank you. Thank you for that. I'm sorry I haven't done a video in the last couple of weeks. Me and my husband went to California to visit my parents, and we also went to like Alcatraz, which was fun, and San Francisco, which is a city I'd like to visit. I have visited before. It's an interesting city. It's changing a lot. I've noticed. I guess it's getting more expensive there for people to live. I think that's why it's changing. It feels a little different than it used to. When I went there the first time, it seemed a little grittier. I know they have a homeless problem, but I mean, in general, it seems like it's a little less gritty, I guess I could say. We also went to the Apple headquarters. Apple headquarters has like a huge wall around it. You can't really get in, so you go to the visitor center, and really you just kind of wish you could go inside the Apple headquarters. So I don't know if it's cool or not. That Cupertino kind of is the reason. The reason my husband liked the Edison was because they have a lot of different. They actually have a Japanese, or Cupertino. They actually have a Japanese grocery store, which is pretty rare. I've really not seen that outside of Japan, and it's really cool. I mean, you have all these different products and things, and it's really fun to shop there. Around the Apple headquarters, it kind of feels like the city in Demolition Day. Just very sleek and futuristic and strange, and it's weird having a big flying saucer in the middle of what used to be a suburban town, but it is what it is. So today I want to talk about a drug called Viibryd. So Viibryd is an SSRI. It's still on patent, which is a branded medication. I will post to my website like Viibryd savings offer if you're an insured patient but not federally insured, meaning you're not on Medicare. I'll post a savings card which could help you save money. I know that they have one. I don't know what the cap on it is. Most of these have like a cap, like they'll pay $100 towards a copay or something, so you could still be out money. Unfortunately, they say your prescription could be $25, but that's not really accurate on coupon cards. So what Viibryd is it's an SSRI. What an SSRI is, it's a drug that increases the amount of serotonin in the brain, and that's responsible for some mood elevation. I'm not sure exactly why that occurs, because antidepressants do different things, and they don't all work on serotonin, and they all seem to have similar effectiveness. So I'd like to show you if just kind of is Viibryd effective. So I have a chart here kind of going through, and it's based on something called a Montgomery-Åsberg Depression Scale, which is a scale that a clinician will give a patient, and basically they'll just go through questions and they'll assess how depressed they are. The worst is 60, the best is 0. So 60 is the worst depression. And in the study that they did on Viibryd, they found that their patients were, on average, they're in the middle. They're about 30. So some were better, some were worse. And after taking Viibryd for an extended period, they found that there's a significant decrease in the depression scale. But what I found interesting about this is that most of the decrease in the depression was related to a placebo effect. So you'll see here in study 1, there's a 13-point decrease in the Montgomery-Åsberg Depression Scale, but placebo, so that's the Viibryd group, the placebo group was 9.6. So the difference was 3. So it's not a huge, massive difference, but I mean, it is effective, and a lot of that effect is placebo, which is crazy, but it is real. All SSRIs have a black box warning on causing an increased risk of suicide in young people. So I have this here for reference. So per 1,000 patients treated, it was 14 additional patients had suicidal thoughts or behaviors. Between the ages of 18 and 24 was 5 additional patients, and that was increases compared to placebo. And then in older patients, there were decreases. So I don't know why this happens in younger people. Maybe they're more impulsive. I don't know. Maybe their brain's a little different. Some theories I've heard is like antidepressants tend to cause people to move around more. They become a little more active. So depression is often characterized by people not really wanting to get up, get off the couch, get out of bed. So an antidepressant might make somebody still feel miserable and depressed, but get up and move around, and maybe they might act on their suicidal ideation, which is tragic. But besides the black box warning, there are the most common uncomfortable thing people notice is diarrhea and nausea, and it's very significant. It's like seeing 40 milligrams a day of Viibryd, 29% of people experience diarrhea, 24% experience nausea, so it's very significant. One of the positive things is that the sexual side effects are a lot less pronounced with Viibryd than they are with other SSRIs, so that's kind of the selling point of Viibryd. Other things are pretty typical. Anything that affects serotonin could lead to serotonin syndrome when added to other drugs. There's an increased risk of bleeding with certain antiplatelet or blood thinner type drugs. SSRIs can lead to manic states in bipolar disorder people, or manic states in people who are hypomanic. And any drugs that act on the brain, when combined with other drugs that act on the brain, they can lead to seizures, or they can increase the chance of someone having seizures. And there's also a risk on angle closure glaucoma. Most of these aren't super prevalent, but it's important to talk about them. And the drug is titrated up, so that means patients will start at a lower dose and then it'll increase over time. And the reason that they are doing that is because of the nausea and the diarrhea. But I think the biggest selling point is the decrease in sexual side effects. So that's really the biggest issue with SSRIs, is the decreased libido. A lot of younger patients don't want to take it. That in itself can cause problems with relationships, and that could lead to more depression. Having an unstable relationship with a significant other could cause even more problems. So that's a good thing about Viibryd. It is still there. If you look in this chart, erectile dysfunction was 1% in placebo and 3% in Viibryd. But it's much higher in other SSRIs, so it is better in that regard. So I hope you all found this interesting. I hope you found it useful. I'm not like an advocate for SSRIs or anything. I just, as a pharmacist, I studied the drugs, and they are interesting. They are more effective than placebo. So they are effective, and they're helpful drugs for a lot of people. But I'm not somebody who's like real fond of taking drugs for things. I really think less is more a lot of times with drugs, but people that have major depressive disorder, like really bad depression. It is serious and it should be treated. So I hope you all found this interesting. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. And it's an honor to have you here. Again, I want to thank anybody who subscribed for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks a lot.